Hello and welcome to Weekend Investing. We are shooting episode number 141. As we do every end of the week, we have a Ask Weekend Investing round where we have subscribers and potential users ask us their queries about weekend investing, about small case usage, etc. And we take care of all those queries here. And if not here, you are most welcome to send us a support email. Let's take a look at the markets. The markets will probably remember this day. In the last many months and possibly since March 2020, I don't recall having a day, or maybe once or twice, where we had a substantial fall in one day, primarily led by the new variant, note by WHO, and the US markets falling almost 900 points in the futures there. It's Thanksgiving holiday in the US, so the market will trade light today for a few hours, but the real impact will be known only by Monday evening. So Indian markets have almost 3 days to wait for knowing the global trend, and who knows, this may just be a scare that has been amplified without really there being a need. So, and the market was anyways looking for some sort of a excuse for a correction. Definitely after a 130% run up, a 10% fall in the Nifty is not really out of the expectations. But yes, whenever the fall comes, it does hurt. In terms of the sectors, only pharma sector was shining today. It was up 1.7%. Rest all sectors were in the red. Very sporadic up moves by some select stocks, but other than that, sectorally, most stocks were beaten down quite mercilessly. Realty, metals, autos, which didn't even participate so much in the last year, were around 4%. Then you had infra stocks down. Banking was thrashed. Some of the banks were down as much as 10%. Real estate stocks were also hammered. FMCG stocks were still not so bad, although usually on days like this, FMCG stocks are seen to go up, but today they were also down as an index by almost 2%. So I would think this is setting up to be a longer term, or let me not say longer term, but a longer correction, and it may take several months to resolve. That's what my gut feeling is, because this is not just India specific, this is becoming global in nature, and we'll need to see how the rest of the world is reacting to this. Foreigners have been selling our markets for a good few months now. In fact, I think in financial year 2021, they have sold like 40,000-50,000 crores worth of stock. So it is the domestic liquidity that has been holding up the market, and with these kind of sharp cuts, we'll have to see how the domestic consumer behaves here on. In case people, retailers start to pull back from the funds, and the inflow reduces or reverses, then of course we have two very major factors of the foreigners also selling and the domestic also selling. But that remains to be seen. I would think there is also the TINA factor, that there is no alternative to the domestic investor. You get nothing in the bank, you can't beat inflation, and that is why the real estate sector has started to move up. The real assets do provide protection against inflation, and I think the market is smart. People are smart that they can sense that the inflation is there, and they are willing to take more risks to try to counter that inflation. So from that perspective, flows to equity may or may not, most likely in my sense, may not curb that much. Nothing much to talk about in the indices and weekend investing small cases, everything was down nearly 3%, some nearly 4% also. Uh, all cap, MI30, MI50, MI20, you name it, everything was just down. And we have to accept days like this, or even, periods, quarters or half years, which will be in red, because unless we have drawdowns, we will not go up. And we can't keep going up all the time. What has happened actually in the last 18-20 months is that people are used to the market going up only, and there is almost a sort of a belief that the market cannot go down. So this is very, very a incorrect thought process to have. Markets will go both ways, but with the right strategy over time, you will come out to be a winner. That is the whole idea. Let's start taking the questions. We have all the weekend investing rounds also available here. I'll put the description of this document here. You can watch all of them, some of them, and we have put all the questions in the description of each episode, so it's very easy to find your query. Let's go to question 384 from Financial Guruji. Considering today's crash due to new COVID strain, and if it repeats like March 2020, all the absolute momentum strategy will go to cash in coming weeks. If strategy is entirely in cash, what is preferred, SIP or lump sum? So in March 2020, most of the strategies went to cash. You are right. We are far from that situation, but if the market keeps dropping like this, obviously that situation will also come. But I have no idea whether we are going that way or not, because the market has learnt its lesson in March 2020, and it will be. I highly doubt that if we can see that kind of a crash again. But again, in the markets you can't say anything. So when strategy goes to entirely cash, you could still keep sipping and setting your money aside. If you want, you can sip into NG 50/50, so that you get the rebalance of the Nifty and gold Bs, etc. But if you want, you can keep the money in liquid Bs, keep accumulating it until the strategy requires it. So my sense for this SIP is that you're setting money aside to be used whenever there is opportunity. So lump sum is more like trying to time it. But as and when you find that the strategy starts to allocate again, you can bring in more lump sums also. Vinod has the next question. Since subscribing to ATH2, there has been about 8 or 9 rebalances. There has been a dull or negative growth on incoming stocks. You mentioned about this small case needing strong momentum. Is there any other factors? So no, there is no other factor. It's a very specialized strategy, just like MIATH, which performs very well when there is strong momentum upwards, where stocks are picked near all-time highs, and there is follow-on momentum in them. Last few months, unfortunately, there has not been too many picks that have carried the momentum forward. So yes, it is bleeding a bit, but I have no reasons to worry on this front, because it will perform when the time comes, right? Next question is from Financial Guruji again. Can you please do a similar analysis for ATH, ATH2, all cap, MI25? Which analysis is this? Okay, so percentage of time when there were new peaks or drawdowns. Sure, we can try to do this. Not a problem. Vinod has another question for opportunistic SIP. Can you please share some key indicators to watch? So you could set up your own sort of triggers where maybe on a 5% fall you're adding some, on a 10% fall you're adding some, on a 15% fall you're adding some. Or you could look at some oversold nature of the market. You can set up some daily or weekly RSI levels below which you want to add. You could look at some ATR based indicators. So there are so many indicators out there, and there is no one solution really, because each drop will be very different from the other. So my best solution to this is that you keep sipping and don't worry about trying to time it, but if you can, then definitely you must try. Next question is from Ishan. Could we have a daily bite on parameters such as Sharpe ratio, standard deviation, etc., on various weekend investing strategies? So we could do that. These are just statistics, and a daily bite on that, I don't know if it will be fruitful for everybody, but we'll definitely have the office consider this. Darshit says, with your strategies, our investments are taken care of. As a new entrant, what do you suggest we learn next for our knowledge as our capital deployed will increase in future? Indicators, trading options. So again, I mean, this is very individual sort of choice. Some investors like to trade along, they've invested in some strategy and they would like to keep trying other new things, try their own strategies, try some option strategies. Many people are these days doing algo trading on options, trying to make some income generation strategies. So there are so many things. I don't think there is one path that you can really go along, but as per your aptitude, whatever interests you, and your availability of time, you should pursue that particular type of investing. Next question is from Nitin. Suppose a high net worth operator gets hold of your portfolio, especially small cap, wouldn't it eat up all of the money during each rebalance? How do you prevent it? So we have recommended limits on each strategy. Some of these strategies have a hard limit above which you cannot invest. If somebody is mirroring this portfolio outside, that really cannot be helped. But what we are also doing now is that all those users who are above our recommended limit, we will ask them to reduce their exposures and bring it down, otherwise they will not be able to renew the strategies. So this is the best that we can do on this, but yes, you're right, I mean that handicap remains that we do not control how much money can be running on this strategy. Zubin has the next question. Hi Alok, would it make more sense for the models to track performance based on Monday open versus Friday close? My humble request for you to consider. So this question has been raised many times. We have to follow the model of small case wherein the Friday close is the reference point. The Friday close is also the basis on which we select the stocks which are coming in and going out. So we have no idea what will be the Monday open when we are selecting the stock. So it's a chicken and egg problem. Unless we know the strategy is based on a particular price and that price is not available today, how do I decide what to buy or what to sell? So I mean, this is a practical issue that cannot be, but small case has given a tool where you can do a back test, that in case you were to rebalance at the end of Monday or at the end of Tuesday, then you will know what is the the rebalance difference from the model. Next question is from Teja. Can I gradually increase my investment in MI20 to 10 lakhs and keep my expense ratio around 0.5%? So I think MI20 has a hard limit at 5 lakhs, so you will not be able to do this. But yes, other strategies you can go up to 15-20 lakhs also. Vivek has the next question. I started in the last 6 months in multiple momentum strategies, not seeing good returns in anything, especially ATH2. How long should we stay committed for you to view meaningful returns? So in last 6 months, many strategies have given returns. I don't know which all strategies you are in, but yes, ATH2 has not given returns. I would think that in any momentum strategy, you should be there for at least 2 to 3 years to really see any meaningful returns, in case you're coming in at the very end of a cyclical move up, which we seem to be doing. So you should continue SIPs and you should diversify across strategies in various different subsegments, so that you're not caught with just one strategy which may be a very specialized strategy for a certain purpose. So have more diversification in mid caps, large caps and small caps along with these specialized strategies. Next question is from Hariharan. Can you do a DB on creating equity curve for one's portfolio? This will be helpful as it would make for easier comparison with benchmark. Okay, so small case is also building a capability of providing you with your equity curve, because as you bring in different SIPs and or different Investmore, the index keeps going up and down, and the index is actually not the right index in case you're doing a multiple investment. It's only right only if you're doing a one-time lump sum investment. So they are building some capability on that. But what you can do is that every day, if you can note your net worth from the small case app and just on an Excel sheet or Google sheet, just keep plotting it on a day-wise basis, you'll get your equity curve. So that's the simplest way of doing it right now. Pawan has the next question. Diversification plays a major role in any form of investing. So if we plan to invest 50% in equity, 25% in gold, 25% in bonds, will it really help us to safeguard our capital in all market conditions? Yes, I think asset allocation is very, very important. And usually the thumb rule is 100 minus your age as percentage in equity. My thumb rule for gold is minimum of, age divided by 2 as percentage. So if you are 28, 72% in equity is not a bad number, and 14% or more in gold is also not a bad number. The rest you can deploy in whichever bonds that you like. But this is just thumb rule, so you must inquire from your financial advisor as to what is the best way for you. Jitendra has the next question. For absolute momentum products like all cap and ATH2 at current levels or in general, what are the thresholds in percentage terms where the strategy goes in cash? So there is no specific threshold. It all depends upon the movement in the markets. If the movements have been very rapidly up, the strategy will give more time for the stock to play around before they come out to cash. But if strategies have been flat for the last 6 months and market starts to go down, then the cash raising will come very fast. So it's a sort of a very elastic band around the current movement. So there is no one sort of level or threshold that I can give you. Vardhan has the next question. Have you considered launching a momentum based ETF? So no, I have not considered, although it is a nice progression from these research products to doing some ETF or portfolio management directly. But I tend to keep my life very simple, and managing ETFs and managing portfolios can get very regulatory, sort of very hair pulling sort of events or exercises. And I've run a brokerage house for 20 years, and I know what kind of pressures are there for compliance and regulation and so on and so forth, and continuously to do so. So right now I'm not keen to do this. Next question is from Akash. Subscribe to 5 of your strategies. Thank you very much. Started to hedge weekend investing small cases with gold after your daily buy. Wanted to know what should be rebalance gold to small case amount ratio. Should it be done monthly, yearly, or any other duration? So again, there is no one right answer. Yearly, definitely you must do that. But if you can do it on a quarterly basis, I think that is good enough. Monthly may be a bit too soon, but do a sort of a back test. And we are actually going to look at several of our strategies and launch the asset allocation versions of them, along with some fixed allocation to gold. So we will be coming out with some results of such tests very soon, maybe in the next 6 weeks. And you can take a call post that how frequently you wish to rebalance. In the MI NG 50/50, we rebalance on a monthly basis, and that has done very well in the last many years, almost matching the Nifty performance without having the drawdowns in the equity. Brijesh has the next question. As a mature investor, what is your personal investing strategy? Which of the weekend investing strategy do you use? How do you invest? Please elaborate briefly. Sorry, so I don't discuss my personal investing because that has no relevance to what strategies we have and what should be right for you. Different age groups, different personal situations can be very different. So I don't want to give out any thumb rules or model allocations which can sort of be followed by others, because each person will have a very different and your financial advisor needs to advise based on your situation what should be the allocation. Swayam Shah is asking the next question. Do you recommend young investors to be diversified into real estate, equities, home and abroad, debt, commodities? Would over diversification hurt future returns? So, as I said, equities thumb rule is 100 minus your age. So, as a young investor, you should be invested more in equities. But yes, if you are really doing very well and you have a lot of surplus savings, definitely diversify. No harm in that. But if your aim is to multiply your initial investments fast in your early years, then maybe have some more focus on equity trading, etc. Jagdish has the next question. Each strategy has a capital cap. What one should do once max capital breached and want to continue with same strategy? I've subscribed MIMT. So right now we can only ask you to diversify across strategies once you reach these, because see, there's a limitation to which we can allow people to put in capital in each strategy in the benefit of the existing users, and that's the reason we have 4 of our most popular strategies actually closed for new subscription, because we don't want more money to get piled onto those strategies and ruin it for the existing users. So hence we have a limitation of how much money that we want to come in those strategies. Next question is from Abhishek. Is it possible to get a list of stocks with entry and exit price of ATH2 since launch? So you can go to the app and see the past rebalances. You will get all the stocks that were recommended to buy and sell, and the dates, and and you can see the prices. The prices are always Friday closing, so the data is already there with you. Next question is from Swayam again. What are your thoughts on many countries like Russia, Singapore picking up tons of gold? What are your thoughts on why these countries are making these moves? So as you probably have, if you are following me on Twitter, you will know that I have a bias towards investing in gold as a hedge. I think although like today, for instance, market fell down, gold is providing some hedge, crypto is also falling down. So, you need to see what is going to provide you with the hedge in case things go bad. So my sense is that central bankers are accumulating gold. Many central bankers are accumulating gold, whether it is Kazakhstan, whether it is Ukraine, whether it is Poland, whether it is Singapore, whether it is India. And there are some central bankers who never disclose what they are accumulating, which is like China. And Russia has almost eliminated the US dollar from their reserves. They are purely into gold and some other currencies. So, from a price perspective, gold has not performed. But from a conceptual perspective, I think there is no better hedge to all the risk assets that we have better than gold, because there is no other reason why central bankers are holding on to gold. US has 8,000 tons officially, India has several hundred tons and being accumulated, Germany, Italy, France. However, most difficult periods they have gone through, they have not sold their gold, because that is the basis on which everything else can be revalued. And if you go back in history and if you look at the Exeter pyramid, you will see that central bank has only one tool to eliminate all this, or to inflate away the debt, which is to reprice gold. So that tool may or may not be used in our lifetimes, I don't know, but that is the reason why central banks accumulate gold. Next question is from Rahul. Is there a way to plot 50 MA to 200 MA chart for WI products? So we in our Weekend Investing Hub have provided you all the index series. So you can download all the index series of each product, and simply once you download it in Excel, you can plot it using an Excel chart. Not really a problem. In case you have questions on how to do it, you can send a mail to support@weekendinvesting. We'll help you on that. Tarun has the next question. Why don't you do pyramiding in your strategy? So, pyramiding is a very advanced technique and it is very much possible to do it. But when you have strategies which are going to be followed by others and every person's risk profile is very different, you don't want to, force people into some sort of a very high risk situation, because pyramiding can lead to some very high risks as your position gets concentrated. So I would let individuals do it on their own if they like, but as a strategy we don't do it. But maybe someday, if I'm able to design a strategy which is good on pyramiding, I will let you know. Sure. Oh, so that's the end of today's questions. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sending in your queries. I hope some of your queries have got answered. Please keep heart. The market is falling, but strategies, any strategy has ups and downs. You will need to bear through it. Some strategies will work wonders, some strategies will not do well. That is how the nature of the market is. That is how the nature of investing is. So keep heart and keep adding capital, and keep looking out for more diversification in your equity holdings, because this is a time for asset allocation and keeping some dry powder for some equity meltdown that may happen. Thank you so much and see you in another video. Have a good weekend. Bye.